Wildcard weekend, Sunday night football. The LA Chargers get to leave the warm, sunny California and head out east to what could end up being a cold New England to face the Patriots. And the game is Sunday night, 8 p.m. on NBC or Peacock, and right now the Patriots are favored by 3.5 points, with the over-under set at 46.5 points. The weather as of right now does not look to be too serious. Cloudy with some light wind, high of 36. Probably going to feel a little bit chillier than that, but right now not seeing any major snowstorms, no rain, not any type of huge winds. It should end up being a beautiful East Coast evening in January. The LA Chargers are the 7 seed, finished 11-6 with a point differential of plus 28. While the New England Patriots, led by MVP candidate Maye, finished the season a super respectable 14-3 as the 2 seed with a point differential of plus 170. Man, what a difference a year can make for the New England Patriots. Notable injuries for the Chargers, there's not really a ton for either team. Bud Dupree on the defensive side of the ball for the Chargers has not practiced as of yet. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. Probably one of the more important ones in this game would end up being Omarion Hampton, who has not practiced yet because of his ankle. It could end up being just being cautious with him and giving him some time. This is a Sunday night game, so we will keep an eye on this to see if any other information pops up about Omarion Hampton. For the New England Patriots, center Garrett Bradbury is dealing with an illness right now. He has not practiced, but no indications that he will actually end up missing this game. And on the defensive side of the ball, their starting defensive tackle, Khyiris Tonga, right now is also a non-participant at practice with a foot injury. As Vegas is suggesting, this game could be fairly even. Let's take a look at our matchup edge right now. And with New England only being a 3.5 point favorite, clearly the Sharps feel like this game is going to be a lot closer than what probably New England fans would love to talk about. At the quarterback position, I've got to give the edge to Maye. He's an MVP candidate. And Justin Herbert would be very close to making this even, but unfortunately with the injuries they've sustained on the offensive line, Herbert just has not looked like the same quarterback that he did at one point earlier in the year. The running back room, especially if the Chargers are missing Omarion Hampton, I gotta give it to Rhamondre Stevenson, Treyveon Henderson, and their big playmaking ability, not just on the ground but through the air as well. For the wide receivers, McConkey, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, I am going to go with that group of wide receivers over Stefon Diggs and the wide receivers for the New England Patriots. That is a lot of weapons that you have to try and take care of. The tight end position is going to be even for me. This is a push. Oronde Gadsden and Hunter Henry, to me personally, are on the same level. I know at one point in time, the rookie Oronde Gadsden looked like a big-time playmaker, but unfortunately, as the season wore on, he just did not see the same type of looks that he did right in the middle of the year. And Hunter Henry, he can have some big games, and then he can just disappear in others. From just a pure, veteran standpoint, Hunter Henry would get the nod here because he's been in the league for a while and obviously is super talented. But with how big of an impact Oronde Gadsden made at times this season, I gotta list this as a push. For the offensive line, it's gotta go to New England. The Los Angeles Chargers have just suffered way too many injuries on the offensive line this season, which has been difficult to deal with. And even for them to finish as the 7 seed, quite honestly, speaks a lot to exactly what the defense has done this year. Speaking of the defense, that's going to go to the Los Angeles Chargers. Jesse Minter has this Chargers defense playing like one of the best in the National Football League, and that says a lot considering the fact that New England's defense has been very good this season as well at times. The Chargers just don't give up nearly as many big plays. And for special teams, I'm also going to give the edge to the Los Angeles Chargers, which means this overall edge is going to be an even split. And like I said, with the line being 3.5 points in favor of New England right now, the Sharps and Vegas feel like that this game could end up being a lot closer than what I feel like a lot of people may expect. Let's hop on over to Underdog and take a look at some of our favorite plays from this game. I've got one from each team, and starting with the Chargers, I'm going to go ahead and take Trey Harris, higher than 9.5 for his longest reception. You get a 0.73 multiplier. You can bump this down or up a little bit depending on what you're feeling like, but Trey Harris over 9.5 for longest reception, I feel really good about. Over his last 10 games, he's hit it 7 times, but over his last 7 games, he's hit it 6 times. So clearly this is a guy that might not get a ton of volume, might not be looked at a whole lot, but he is seeing some targets down the field. And 9.5 yards is literally just a first down. I like this spot for Trey Harris, especially in a game where Justin Herbert may need to throw the ball quite a bit. For the New England Patriots, I'm going to go with Rhamondre Stevenson and giving him a line of 9.5 receiving yards. I can take higher than that at a 0.74 multiplier. And over his last 5 games, he's hit that mark in all 5 games. He's had games of 40, 27, 27, 55, and 22 receiving yards. And in a game where a defense that plays such a big part of the matchup for as good as Los Angeles is, you may need to dump the ball off every once in a while. Treyveon Henderson has not gotten nearly as much work in the passing game as what was thought at the beginning of the year when Rhamondre Stevenson has been healthy. Stevenson has been helping in the passing game way more often. But who ends up winning this game? Like I said, and like I've talked about this entire show so far, it is a very even matchup. And I think people are going to be surprised on how even this matchup is. And realistically, I think it comes down to 2 things. Number 1 is the Chargers defense. What can the Chargers defense do to keep New England off the field and allow their offense as many opportunities to score? Because key number 2 is the offensive line for the Los Angeles Chargers. They've got to keep Justin Herbert as clean as possible, because when you get a shot at the end zone, you cannot miss it in a matchup like this. And that is why I am taking the Patriots in this matchup, and I'm going under 46.5 points. I think we see a big defensive game here, and if that happens, it could end up being whoever kicks the last field goal in this game. Headliner Nation, appreciate you tuning in for another video. We decided to split up all of the wildcard matchups into their own separate videos this year, so hopefully you are catching all of them. And if you're new to the channel, let us know if you hit the subscribe button today so the entire nation and myself can welcome you to the Fantasy Headliners. But stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode.
Analytics off the chain, all the channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.